So many people have no idea what to do in life. We've been told so much stuff when we were young. We were told to do A, B, C, and yet we reach our 20s and honestly, nothing seems to work. Let me try and help you with that. All right, first things is that it happens to all of us, right? You are not alone. We're teenagers, we want more freedom, right? We want to have money, to have a place of our own, and to have any fun we want whenever we want, right? And for however long we want. We just have to become adults. And when we reach our 20s, we become adults, we actually become adults, and none of that has come true, right? The first step is to forget what we've been told by our older generations, right? We don't live in the 80s. We live in modern times. Our parents have raised us based on how things were back then, but they're just not like that anymore. And they didn't do it because of malice, right? They just don't know what it is to grow up in their 20s today. And so what happens is that you have a lot of outdated information that you've been raised with, and the only way forward, honestly, is to adapt to the way that things work now. Because the truth is, you cannot let the world walk over you. I understand, right? You may feel like you're in a crisis because you're aware of how bad things are. So try to take this as an opportunity, right? As an opportunity to adapt, to improve, and to ensure success. Here's the thing, right? When we're young, we are raised with a very strict structure. You know, we have our parents tell us to do this, we have our teachers or professors tell us to do this, we have our school, university, high school tell us to do this. What happens, right, is that then, we go to college and pretty much the same thing. We have our professors, we have classes, we have schedules. We finish college, we finish university, right, or university, we get a degree, and well, now we get to the real world. We get to a job, okay, we find a job, and very quickly what happens to a lot of people is that we find that it sucks. It's not like I can go back in time and select a different path, right? It's too late now. Things went from I want to become an engineer to now I'm forced to be an engineer every single day at work. And I hate it, right? And now I'm stuck. I know that that's how many of you are feeling right now. You get burnt out. You feel like at work, you may even feel like at work you're a different person. Like you are the job version of you whenever you are in that place. That version that is different from the actual you. The you that is at home, the one that has dreams, right, and stuff that they want to do. And because what happens a lot of times is that you spend so much time, so much work crafting that job version of you, right? You craft that future version of you in university, in college, and now you are that person, and you don't like it. You look at the past you, right, and you think to yourself, imagining the younger you, and you say, hey, it wasn't so bad, right, as I thought it was back then. you know Maybe that actual like rigid structure was actually very comfortable. Because sure, while I didn't have the full freedom that I have today, technically, I could also spend so much more of my time on whatever I wanted rather than on what I had to do now. So if you identify yourself with this, then what do, right? First, let me say that this is a process, okay? All right, there is no quick stop to being depressed, right? There's no like quick hack to stop being depressed, okay? All right, everything I say and recommend, you have to internalize it, and you have to apply it to your own life in the way that fits your life. But here's the thing, all right, as long as you get the message of what I'm trying to say, then you yourself can guide your own actions to improvement. All right, so first, what do? The first and honestly the most important thing is to just don't stop, don't give up, okay? Do not try to go back the path you chose. Don't try to go back to your life, all right? Don't try to escape the situation you already are today. I understand, you may feel like wanting to like pause, life as if it was a game. You may feel like you might even need to like escape from life pretty much. But the truth is that you need to stop trying to escape that life that you have now and start working towards your future life. Your current life, even with all the flaws it has, or you may have, here's the truth, okay? Every life path you choose, every life path you are imagining or thinking about, none of them are perfect, right? They all have their own flaws. They all have their own way in which you're gonna have to, in which they're gonna pretty much test you, in which they're gonna pretty much put you through suffering or pain, right? To get through, to get to the end. And unfortunately, you're only going to be able to discover them once you're there. Because here's the thing, what a lot of people go wrong is they think, okay, sure, I made the mistake of taking this path. Now, all I have to do is just, go and take another path, right? I made the choice of choosing a path, and that path sucks. So now I need to choose a path that doesn't suck. And you look at all of your possible paths, right? Okay, none of them seem perfect, or they always have something. They always have something that just doesn't work, it just doesn't feel right, or they also just have something that you are not sure about, that you don't know about, right? They always have some uncertainty that you just cannot get your hands around. Okay, like you don't know if this path is gonna ensure that you get more money in the end, right? That your salary increases, or this path doesn't. You don't know if that path is gonna take you to having a house or having a better relationship with with a partner, right? And so what happens to a lot of people, and what may also be happening to you, is that you're looking at all of these paths and you just don't know which path to take. Okay, and so you're stuck on, okay, I already chose whatever path I chose before me, and it sucks, right? And I don't want to make that mistake again. And you think in your head, right? It's like, oh, there has to be, right? Like there's a path somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know what it looks like right now, but I know there's a path somewhere, and that is the perfectly correct one. I just need to find where it is. Here's the truth, right? There is no such thing as a perfect or right path. And unfortunately, there is no path that you will be 100% certain of the outcome, okay? And that happens all the time. It will happen all the time in your life, and it happens to every one of us. What you honestly have to do, right, is you need to put yourself out there, right? I'm sure most of you have already heard that advice a million times before, okay? But what you need to do, right, is forget about your past life, right? Separate where you will be in the future from where you were a few years ago, okay? You have to start defining your future today, and you need to start exploring a path. It doesn't matter which one. You need to start exploring a path, okay? Just choose one that seems decent or good enough for you and start exploring that path. Because the worst thing that you can do is just straight up not explore any paths at all. It's basically getting stuck. And the moment you stop letting yourself be stuck trying to choose a path, you're gonna quickly find that, you're gonna go through what's gonna happen, right? Is you're gonna go down one path and you're gonna find that, you know, all of the paths afterwards actually look much better, right? But don't get me wrong, there will still be uncertainties, there will still be paths that require a lot more work than others. Are you willing to sacrifice that? If yes, go ahead. If not, that's fine. Choose another path. But like I said, there is no perfect path. There is no path that is easy and easy to get through and has these massive outcomes, right? Every path takes hard work, and the bigger the outcome, the harder the path is. This is pretty much being an adult, okay? It's becoming an adult. You need to understand that becoming an adult is not just, oh, maybe now I can get arrested. It's not, oh, now I have to get a job. It's not, a title, right? After you are 18 or 21 years old, whichever country you live in, right? Being an adult is honestly just being fine with making decisions, with making choices, with choosing paths without knowing everything about it, without being sure if it will work out in the end. And being an adult is pushing through whatever path you choose and putting as much work as possible to ensure that you get to the end as fast as possible so that you can enjoy the benefits as soon as possible. If your life sucks, go out there and change it. Walk into the path, put yourself into that path, and get through it. Otherwise, you're just always gonna be stuck. Yes, it is scary. It's fucking scary, okay? You have no idea what is at the end of that path, but that is the point. The path is hard and uncertain because that is what makes you into, a strong person, right? Into the strong person that will succeed in the future. If you want a better life, you need a stronger you. And if you want to get stronger, you need to stop overthinking, overanalyzing every path, and just go and start walking the path or a path in the first place. The real world has no perfect path. It has no right answer. The real world has no guarantees. No, the real world does not guarantee money and a house and stability or, I don't know, a partner, right? The real world just straight up does not guarantee anything except one thing, that as long as you let yourself get stuck in one place because you are too scared of going into the unknown, you will never succeed. And that is the only guarantee that life makes. Whew, okay, wow. I got serious, okay. Whew, sorry for, getting a bit worked up there. Here's the thing, okay, here's my message to you, okay? As long as you keep looking for guarantees, you will never believe in yourself. And the only guarantee in life is yourself. There is no such thing as a safety net here in life, okay? Everything can fail and everything can go wrong. And truth is, no one is gonna come and give you a perfect life, okay? No one's gonna show up in your life and give you perfection, give you the dream life that you want, okay? So stop wasting time and just get out there and go and craft that perfect life yourself. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to me today, and well, have a good day.